They are, let's see, energized or empowered by having an open agenda, just freedom. They do not respond well to rigid rules, and they like to create their own way. You're probably like, as I talk, thinking of people who are like this. I know I have faces popping up like, oh, it's so-and-so. They desire, let's see, they want to soar in a positive direction. Just, oh. They control their own decisions, their direction, their schedule. And they like mature relationships that don't require a whole lot of like constant attention. The downside is they can be perceived as rebellious or disrespectful. They're not going to stay at the same hotel with everyone else because they just want to stay at this hotel. They can be negatively challenged when somebody tries to like give them a strategy. It can like mess with them. By nature, they don't like accountability, and they prefer more spontaneous than scheduled kinds of things. So that's the third one. The fourth one, this person is more energized by like a savings account. They're empowered by stability, a stable environment, and like it's not really possible for them to work in craziness. Like it's just not. They need time to process, to think things through. They value trust and community the very most in their relationships. Those two things are like air. They're confident and they're comfortable when they have a known plan, something set out that's clear. It's better to save than spend for those people. They seek peace. And this person also doesn't always need a defined why for what they're doing, because it's just a part of the process. Like it's the next step. Like they're just going to keep going. And so sometimes they struggle to verbalize this like big thing. It's just, I'm doing it. So their words are process and routine, steps. Those kind of words are words that they use. And it's kind of cool because that person might not normally want to be an entrepreneur, except that Mary Kay has that plan. It has a system that enables them to come into entrepreneurship and do well. For all of these different people, there are nationals that have all the different personalities. And so it's really cool to know, really like, I think like inner circle in all of the categories. Okay. And then the last one, this person is empowered by a party. She literally, a party, fun, upbeat, that energizes her. And she's energized by laughter. Everything has to be fun. Just make it fun some way, somehow. She's motivated by the ability to have fun, conversation, and laughter. She doesn't really like serious conversation. Just kind of puts her off. She's drawn to music. She's inspired by the opportunity for new, uncommon adventures. She likes to change things up. This kind of person likes vacation for the experiences, not for the rest. So experiences and like memories are big words for her. She will work hard to have fun options, work hard for experiences, but they're not always extroverted. They don't have to be this crazy, like loud. They can be calm. It's just that it's this driven for a fun experience that like keeps them moving. And if it's not fun, if they can't find fun, they can't find experiences in it, they're out. They're not motivated by long trainings. And they may schedule a lot of vacations. They just go and do and be because it's fun, but it is literally what gives them the energy to come back and work more. So that's the fifth one. So do y'all need me to repeat anything? Did you feel like you kind of found yourself in there at all?
I haven't necessarily narrowed myself into any particular one. I've caught bits and pieces that might be me, but I haven't really narrowed it in. But I think if I was to read through it, and then I could kind of focus into it a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Great.
I didn't feel like there was one that necessarily jumped out as like, that's definitely me. I do feel like possibly 1 and possibly 4.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are the 2 that I was like, well, yeah, some of those do sound kind of like me.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let me see what those were. 1, 4. Mm-hmm. Hmm. That's very fun. I like it. Heidi, were there any numbers that you felt a little bit more, or perhaps that you were like, that is not me?
I don't have them right in front of me, so I can't tell you which ones.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to listen, and that I didn't really pick the number exactly.
Oh,
So,
you're totally
but
fine.
there was just like bits and pieces that was like, yeah, I can see that being me. But then I would hear something and I'm like, well, that's not really me. But
Mm-hmm.
so bits and pieces. So I haven't narrowed it in.
Yes. Yes, totally. Um, so some of the things that Heidi talked about with us as she kind of explained was simply that, like, for the first person, the one that's energized by a win, an ambitious heart, they're competitive with themselves. They love just to be in action, winning. That person, um, for them, what makes them want to move, want to grow, is the idea of the victory, of being victorious, of being successful. Like, it is like the lifeblood. And so, if they don't see a way to experience that, that's when it's out. The second person, it's all about the connections. It's the connections with people and it doesn't mean that number 1 person doesn't like people. It's that the driving force for the number 2 is people. I'll give you an example. Rebecca Reed is a number 2. She just finds the greatest delight in people and in influencing people. And if you talk to her, as I worked with her in her years, it was always influence, trust, belief, trust, influence, belief. Like, those words just come out of her mouth. And when things got really painful for her was when she felt like there was a breach in the relationships she had. And that's when she just had some really hard times in her business. It was a sense of the people, and that those relationships were not right. And she would tell you that. I can say that. The third person is, they are driven for freedom, like the ability to set their own pace, their own course, to literally be able to design their own path. So it's autonomy. And if they feel like they can't make their own way in our business, since that's what we talk about, but it could be in anything. If they feel like they can't make their own way, they're not interested. Or they're going to set a goal and like work hard, but it's always going to be because I get to do it my way, or because I'm going to have this freedom and this choice. April Townsend is freedom and choice, as is my husband. They just are not looking for rigid structure over their lives. The number 4 person, they it's almost opposite of the number 3 person, in that for them, structure gives them safety. And so if they feel like they have to come up with it on their own, they're out. If it's like hodgepodge, like, oh, do your best. Nope. So if they lose a sense of trust in what the process looks like, or that the process works at the root of it, that's when they really can't take action. It's like, I don't really believe this is going to work. And so they're frozen. And they must have a sense of stability and a sense of routine and process in order for them to be able to act. And if they lose that completely, then they may not like quit the company, but they're not going to move forward with any kind of energy. Mm-hmm. And then the 5th person, we kind of talked about that. If they can't find their way to fun, goodbye. Because it just has to be fun. And Heidi talked about, her daughter is an Equinox director. She's 24. And Heidi like really struggled for a while because she was always taking these little mini vacations and always like planning outings and activities. And she's like, you need to stay home and work. But Heidi's daughter is like she cannot just nose to the grindstone for months. She has to constantly take a break and just breathe and then come back and work. And if she couldn't do that, she wouldn't want anything to do with it, you know? So that's number 5 person. One other thing that she talked about that can help you to figure out who you might be would be to think through, and I would be curious to hear what you guys say on this. Are you someone, and you may not know, we might have to chat, but you can be a vision first person or an action first person. So are you someone that you kind of need to see a vision of what can be, and you have to catch it and believe it, and then you'll start to take action and move? Or are you somebody who you kind of have to take some steps? You kind of have to like get your fingers into it, do some things, and then you'll be able to see a bigger picture. Because some of these needs are vision first, and like when you're stuck and you're like frozen or you're frustrated, you couldn't even think about taking action until you have a new picture, a new vision. And then some are, I don't know what my vision is, I just need to get going. And once I get going, I can see more. I will tell you guys, I'm action first. I like have to kind of start and move and start to see some things, and then you can talk to me about bigger things. And my husband's the opposite. He has the vision and then he like implements the plan. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's get started. So what about y'all? What do you hear as far as vision or action first? Any inclination?
I think I'm action first.
Mm-hmm.
Action first and then get the vision.
What makes you say that? What are you thinking of?
I know, just even with my journey so far, when we start talking about like our why and our vision for what we're going to do in our business, I always feel stumped. It's like, I don't know what the big picture is right now, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think that leads me to believe that I need to take action before I can get that bigger picture.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, because you're the same way.
Mm-hmm. I can't comprehend anything else.
Right.
Don't talk to me about being a national. I need to have a little party. That kind of concept.
Right.
I love it. Okay. What about you, Karika?
So at first when you said it, I wasn't sure, but I think I may be vision first. Because I think that, like, for me, that is what can motivate me to see like a big picture of what's possible. And, you know, this is what can be done. This is how far you can go. And then sometimes I kind of feel like, but I have no idea how to get there. Like, so that's what makes me think that I might be vision first. And I do feel like when I have a vision, like I want to take action, like, okay, we need to do something. But I feel like I often don't know what that something is. Like, I got to get moving, doing something. And so I think that I am vision first, because I can see all of this can happen, but I don't know how in the world to get to that.
Yes, that is dead on. If the vision inspires you to act, even if you're not sure what to do, that is, the vision shuts me down if I'm not moving. I'm like, oh, I can't do all that. And my husband is like, you're crazy. Now, as I kind of reviewed, did anything else pop? Any numbers pop to you guys? Any things seem more clear? Like, what would you not be willing to stay around if you didn't have? Like, would it be that achievement and victory opportunity? Would it be the freedom? Well, that wasn't the third, the connections. And please don't feel bad about that one. I love people. It is the reason I'm here, but I am not number 2. Because I had connection and I had no motivation. I needed something else to come into the room. And when that came back, it was like, let's go, you know? So don't feel bad on that. So is connection, is it that freedom and total, like, own opportunity? Is it knowing there's a plan and a system that you can stand on, or fun?
I think with me, as with Karika, the same as like 1 and 4, but I think maybe 4 more than 1 for me. Because if I'm not, if I think about it more, I'm more 1. But if I'm not getting those wins, if I'm not feeling like I'm moving forward at all, then it's like, hands up, I'm done. So I think maybe even more 1 than 4. But I also like structure. So, yeah.
I was stuck on those 2 for a while.
Yeah.
Yep. Is that what you said too, Karika?
Yeah, so I totally agree with what Heidi was saying, because I mean, we talked about this a long time ago, but I'm a very steps person. So I can see a vision, but I also need, okay, step 1, do this, step 2, do this. And then I'm like, okay, I did step 1, check. I did step 2, check. But on the win side of it, if I do those steps and am not getting the wins, then it is just like, well, I did step 1, 2, and 3, and, I didn't get anything. So, so it's kind of that combination where the wins is a big thing.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay. So here's the question. When that happens, is it that you didn't win and you're like, I need to win? Or is it that your process is now in question? Because of course we all want to win. Like, that's legit. But at the very core of you, are you lacking belief in that process that you were finding energy and confidence in? Or is it that you're just like, doggone it, I want to win?
No, I think you're right. I think it's the process.
I think so too. That is a good way to look at it.
Comes into question. Like, okay, I'm doing these steps that I need to be doing, but I'm not getting what I should be getting from those steps. And so then, I need that win to keep me moving forward. But now I'm uncertain about the process and the steps to get to it.
Yes.
you know, so now I'm not believing in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need evidence, you need proof
Right.
that you're on that right path.
Right. Yeah.
Mm. Obviously, you'll have time to chew on it, and I'll send you the document so you can look at it, but that might be, you can definitely have a strong second. So maybe 4 is the real base, and then you know, 1 is there.
Right.
You'll have to kind of see, but think about that. Think about that in your journey. At the times where you have had the least belief, the least, you know, connection to it, what was it really about? Was it about, I don't believe that this system works for me or for today's day? Or is it, I need to win somewhere else? And you've gone somewhere else to be really successful and to win, you know? What is that missing element? Because then even you and I, each of you and I will know, what do we really need to work on here? Is it your faith in a process that can work for you according to what you want? Or is it picking some small little wins and letting you just feel happy? You know? And just saying, hey, that's a win. Celebrate.
Right.
But I will be curious to hear from you guys on this. Like I said, I've heard about it a few times, and this time, as she went over it and as I read, it locked in and really made sense to me. And I could look back and see where I had lost that element that I need for motivation, for that passion. For a few years, I really hadn't experienced it. And so in August, when we made this new, like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, I know that this is what God has for me. Also, that thing had come back in front as opportunity. Like it's like I received that again, and I decided to lean into it instead of being like, that's not here. I can't get that here. I was like, you know what? Okay, let's do this. And I kind of put it out in my work again, where, because I don't want to be, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not too specific, because I don't want to taint y'all's thinking. But basically, I thought it was gone. I hadn't experienced it for a few years leading up because of stuff. And so now I'm going, it's back. I can have that met here. That need can be met here. And now I'm like, okay, let's go. And then I'm taking action, and then my vision's expanding. So that's the power that it can be, is just for what you want with this. It can be your fuel to make that phone call or send that message, or just set aside that little bit of time. Whatever it is. So any other comments or thoughts? I don't want to keep y'all too late. I know it's an hour later there.
So I guess my question is this a book, or is it just a training that Heidi does, or, you know?
It's not a very well resourced thing.
Okay.
I had Googled online trying to find, and I couldn't find very much.
Okay.
James has like I think a YouTube video, but it didn't, I wasn't able to lock in.
Okay.
Because the way she described it was too brief. I couldn't find myself in the picture.
Okay.
Where Heidi had built on Stacy's stuff, and she's really studied it. So This is the fullest explanation I've ever seen.
Okay. I'll just wait for that document then.
I'll send it as soon as we get off here.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I probably should have sent it before. That didn't occur to me.
It's okay.
But keep me posted on your thoughts. Message me or something.
Yeah.
If you have some aha moments or some like bright light, shining clarity. That's my hope.
Yeah.
Y'all are here. And so I want you to feel like your soul is being supported, and I don't want you to feel trapped in stuck. Like I kind of want, but I don't know. I feel like I spent a year there. Like,
Right.
So my hope is that it can give you some thoughts, some fuel, and just some excitement about understanding what your heart needs here.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, keep me posted.
I will.
And if you have any requests for what you guys want to talk about coming weeks, let me know. This was a request by Jen, which is why I recorded half of it. Sorry, Jen.
We love you, Jen.
Oh.
I may have forgotten to hit record for a little bit. But she'll catch on. So anyway, if there are other concepts or topics that you want, please let me know. I want to, really tailor this time to be beneficial and fun. So I love hearing from you guys. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Are you sharing new products next time?
What's next week? The 29th?
Oh, you can't do it till after the 1st?
I mean, if y'all are on.
We are.
I am curious because they sent out that email and I'm like, what does that mean?
What email was it?
It was, what is the term they used? They used some term I had never heard of before. Let me see what it says.
Was it like chroma or something?
It said chroma fusion. And I was like, what is that?
It's exciting. It's exciting. So yeah, I will bring those for you. Only y'all who are on here. And then I'll send you some stuff so you can see more clearly. But everyone else is going to have to wait till November 1st.
Woohoo!
Don't tell. I'm really mad.
It's their loss.
Yeah.
Right?
And I know you won't post it on Facebook, so
No.
I will have it for you.
Awesome.
Yay!
It's
Love
actually
you stuff.
Well, this thing, Zoom, is about to kick me off because I only get 30 minutes. So I'll let you guys go before they hang me up.
Oh,
Thank you.
Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.